Marquee matchup coming up at 174 pounds. Luca Augustine, the 3-year starter, 2-time NCAA qualifier, and then the transfer from Columbia, Josh Ogunsanya. He has looked good, on a roll. First year competing at 174 after wrestling his entire career at 165. Now you start to get into that murderer's row, if you will, for the Panthers, and you see what they have done, starting with Augustine and then rolling through the next few weights.
Even though we talked about how Pitt is pretty much favored moving forward, inside trip back shin, front headlock as the head was popping up, inside trip by Luca. When we talked to Coach Gavin, he said Luca is always strong towards the end. We need him to start faster earlier. That's what I call a fast start. Beautiful inside trip. Watch, goes a front headlock, inside trip. Clean. Good start for Luca.
Augustine, the 2-time NCAA qualifier, was the 23 seed a year ago, went 1-2.
Escape red, we're neutral.
I talked to Keith Gavin earlier today, and we were talking Luca Augustine. He goes back to the NCAA. The first year that Augustine qualified in 23, he had that tight loss to the 5-seed plot, and that's kind of when it all kicked in for Luca, realizing he wasn't that far off.
What we've seen historically from Luca Augustine is that, you know, he's been very stout defensively, but really didn't open up offensive. I like how he started off this period. Good start. That's what happens with momentum. You start winning, and then everyone starts to build off of the excitement. And one thing that UNC really believes that Josh Ogunsanya is underrated. They all talk about how wicked strong he is. Not only is he wicked strong, he's wicked smart. He's in law school.
Started wrestling with his father, Pete Sr. High school wrestler, second generation Nigerian-American who introduced the Ogunsanya boys to the sport of wrestling. Josh Ogunsanya, 5-match win streak for the Tar Heels. Had a nice win last week over Matty Singleton in the rivalry duel with NC State. Spent the past 4 years with Columbia. Now, keep in mind, when you look at Ogunsanya, he was a 2-time NCAA qualifier, but that was in 22 and 23. He only wrestled 5 matches last year for Columbia.
Columbia has a good representation here at this dual meet.
Not just in this dual meet, but you go back a few weeks, push the rewind button. He had a matchup against an old buddy in Lennox Wallach of Virginia Tech.
That had to be awkward.
Short time, period number 1. Augustine looking for that straight on double. Ogunsanya, there's some of that strength that we were talking about. Just captures that. He'll hold position here, and that's how the first period will end. 174, when you look at the ACC across the spectrum with Lorenzo Norman, I know that is a wrestler that you are really high on, ranked 4th this week.
He moves well. He's young. He's going to get bigger. Surprised he's not playing defensive back somewhere in a D1 program in football.
Is this the deepest weight in the ACC in your perspective?
Unquestionable. Unquestionable.
Neutral. Stop.
Ankle band came off.
Think about how deep it is. Returning All-American Lennox Wallach is the lowest ranked guy in the conference of the ranked wrestlers.
Stop. My time. My time. Good.
Looked like Augustine caught one in the eye, so I'm going to give him an extra moment just to make sure he has clear line of sight, and we are off and running. Second period, 3-2. It's getting interesting. We knew this was a pick'em coming in. 2 evenly matched teams, North Carolina and Pitt. Again, keep in mind what's on the line tonight. Both these schools, along with Virginia Tech and Stanford, each with 1 loss. NC State, Pat Papalizio in the pack, getting the job done again this year. They're the only unbeaten at 4-0. NC State still has Stanford and Virginia Tech on the schedule.
Ogunsanya has a good single to his opponent's right leg, and he has really good grip strength, meaning that when he locks his hands, he's able to finish, good finishing percentage. But what Luca Augustine is doing right now is making it very difficult for Ogunsanya to even get to the leg. Just like Kessler, Augustine is staying right in the yellow piece, right there, trying to stay. You see, I move right back to the middle. The optics of that, from the official saying, look, if your back is towards the out of bounds, it just looks like you're not doing as much, as opposed to you staying right in the yellow part of the mat. That's coaching. Good job by the Pitt staff to tell him to stay right in the middle and wrestle. Ogunsanya's got to do some misdirection, because right now the straight on is not doing anything and getting to Augustine. Misdirection, kind of moving one way to the other, like at 133, where we had Chappell had a misdirection on Oakley.
So without a doubt, Augustine, his choice, he says, let's go underneath.
Green set.
He takes a 3-2 lead into this third period. All North Carolina to start. Pitt has won the last 2 weights and a quick escape. Augustine away.
Quick escape, that was under 3 seconds. That's what you're starting to feel it now. He's starting to feel that Augustine is feeling good. He's seeing that Ogunsanya can't even get to my legs. And Ogunsanya's got to just create angles. Just can't go straight ahead against Augustine. And it's played into Augustine's match. Oh, he kind of dove in on that shot.
Long range shot there by Augustine. Ogunsanya nearly took advantage of it.
Not a good shot there.
Pace picking up here in this third period. Both wrestlers into that upper body. You saw Augustine clear out his wrist. Back into the center. Ogunsanya down on one knee, goes back up to the feet, trying to get to his tie. Again, that hand defense from Augustine, so good. He's tough to find those windows of openings on.
I mean, Augustine is doing a really good job. Ogunsanya's not even getting to his legs. I mean, he's trying to, but just good positioning. There's to the legs. There's that single we're talking about. Now the grip strength. He's very efficient here. Good hips there by Augustine. At this point, Ogunsanya is his best scoring position. Finishing rate, not quite there. That looks like a takedown. He's got the leg.
No control.
No control. That's a weak whizzer, though. There's a 3. Now, short time. Now, we're about to see the strength and the mental toughness of Ogunsanya. Here's the initial shot. He got in, shot in, got there, and worked his way to get the 2 legs. It's going to be fire for this finish right here. We've got 24 seconds left. Ogunsanya is going to find out, can he keep down Augustine? And Augustine was in good position. He's looking for the stall call. Watch the locking hands. Good job. Look at the toughness here. Roll action. Is that enough? Is that enough? No, he's holding on for dear life. What strength? We talked about the grip strength. The grip strength, almost enough. Did he get behind? That's reversal. Another reversal for another one. My goodness. Another last-second win by the Pitt Panther. Wow. Look at this. Ogunsanya was holding on for dear life, but good hip motion there by Augustine. Nothing yet. Standing reversal. That's a reversal right there. Standing reversal. And look at the stoic Gavin. Pretty excited.